social media has like it gives people the drive to actually want to achieve more. In a way,
definitely.
Because you see other people achieve success, however way they do. Because you must remember, you don't see how they get there.
Nah.
They just show you what you want to see.
True.
And then how are you then gonna measure your journey based off just that one picture of that person? I understand.
Yeah.
How then do you gauge?
How do you?
You've just stepped into An Empty Street, a podcast where you casually engage in difficult conversations about relationships, wealth, and health. We are just three curious gentlemen who ask questions almost about everything, and our aim is to find answers from others and within ourselves. We sit down every week to explore unaltered conversations. So let's walk the talk together, and welcome to the Empty Street podcast.
In 3,
2, 1. We're rolling.
Welcome to the Empty Street podcast.
We back
Once again, another
Back
week.
like we never left.
like we never knew.
We're here, man.
Another
It's
week.
another Tuesday.
Another week.
Another week. Another day. Yeah. Sana emergency. Yeah, we have unfinished business.
Yeah.
Be asking.
This is where we at, and there's no need to introduce the niggas.
No, we just hit the ground running.
This is your first episode.
We can go to part 2, part 1,
and then
episode 16.
have a chance to catch up on what we are talking about. So yeah, man, we're here, and the last episode, Ipele kuna question uyibuza.
Yeah, I mean, I think based off our last conversation, we're still talking about identity and its influence on us, right?
Yeah.
So the question I was asking Amachita, and I mean anyone, was Zuguti, technology. How has technology influenced our identity? How has technology played a part in changing how our identity has now become compared to how it used to be back then?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The question is to anyone who thinks they might have an idea of what technology's role was in shifting how we see our identities these days.
Yeah. But I also feel like it has played a major role into shaping our identity. Facts.
No doubt. More now than ever, actually. Because if you had to think about back before Y2K, the year 2000, before the internet and all of that, you know, most things were not really publicized. So you only knew what was around your vicinity. So you would adopt whatever identity you would find around you, and nothing further than that. But now when you look at it, like it goes far and beyond. Like you can literally adopt an identity from across the ocean, and make it your own because of the use of social media and the internet. You know, having access to all of that, it contributes to who you end up becoming. Because you're constantly consuming all of that information, and then it shapes and forms who you end up becoming. You know?
Which is something we mentioned on episode 4. On episode 4, about the impact,
social media,
and raising children.
Children,
So it's that thing you would see. Back then, the best believer you would see, umntana raised by community. It's not just your parents. We know uzohamba yodlala and all of that, and then you raise like community.
Sure.
If ever kuno baba wase next door ubona umntana esenza into wrong,
puts
like,
them in line.
What are you doing? So uyabona, umntana kabani wenzani? Izinto ezinjalo.
And ukhona nokumshaya futhi.
Uyabona. But now it's like, okay, umntana ukhuliswa endlini, akhuliswe community and the entire world. Uyabona. Because une access to other identities from
across
wherever
the world.
across the world. So it starts there. i-identity yomuntu changer.
Yeah.
And that's one impact engiyibonayo mina e-internet.
Yeah.
And impact yakhona is strong kakhulu because mawuchecka into esimenshine kakhulu ku-episode 4 ilento lokuthi abantwana right now, once you have kids, abantwana bakho, you know ukuthi they will no longer be raised by a father and the mother, maybe the other family relatives, but then even in community lokhu kudala into mawuthi uyacheck labo bakhona ukuthi maybe if umthola umntana wakhe as ubaba ose-next door enza into wrong, bokhona ukuthi umshaye, then ukhona ukumbuyisa endleleni. But nowadays you can't do that because there's these laws esikhona now, they know a lot of rights, uyabona, and umntwana once wamshaya nawe as ubaba wakhe or umama wakhe ubuya sowulwa, yabo, awusanalento ukuthi understand ukuthi umdala lo muntu ekade sashaya umntana wakhe out of nowhere. So manje sekunalento leyo nabantwana, once they understand into kanjalo, they understand that power abanayo ukuthi yes, so now it's a lot of rights abanayo, and lento leyo ubuke manje lot of people they learn their rights on social media. They never be told, even a scale, even my parents are, but they know their rights, social media, and they know ukuthi izinto that I should say that part of me, this is what I want. Akusizinto ayifunayo, but izinto azibone ku social media. Same as mawathola girlfriend yakho now, ithi this is what I want. Akusizinto zakhe, but izinto azibone ku social media.
Exactly, yeah.
This is what they wanted, so now I feel like this fit in me as well. So it becomes their identity. So after lapho sekayabuya athi ayimlo. So wena sothi nawe uyaqhubeka yena if you feel that.
So yeah, also what's this? Technology, must now check it technology, no, compared to the indigenous times, ne? Technology now has made life easier or things easier, whether in a quick mode or, you know, baby steps and stuff like that. In technology, now I think it's easier compared to
back then.
Way back with this communicator kanjani. Manje, people can get your identity through your social media platforms. Bakhona ukubona i-profile yomuntu ukuthi okay, this is Ali. Ali is based on udume ngento ekanje nekanje yabo. Can easily access his profile ukuthi wenzani compared to back then. Back then you could like literally meet up with someone akhona ukubona like directly ukuthi okay, Ali gave me this impression. Ali is this type of person, even though the person is assuming.
Sure.
Compared to technology, like if you have your proper profile with technology platform, so it's okay. Ali is this and that. This other image. Okay, Ali ganj. So I think technology based on identity, it has a good and a bad side of it. Yeah. Because if you take a look at, for example, I was inside a taxi, coming here to meet up with you guys. Almost everyone in the taxi is using a phone. You understand? And back then, less into business existed. We could like initially talk face to face. And you know, we're focusing on one another, not on our gadgets and stuff like that. So bokhona ukuthola i-originality yomuntu, i-real character yomuntu via ukuthi niyathechana kanjani, ni-share ama-souls kanjani through communication and stuff. So yeah, I think technology can have a good side and a bad side of it. But manje, we're living in a technological world, so 90% of the population is using technology because they believe it works better for them compared to the indigenous communications and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what I can say, Legends. I don't know.
Even like with like you see the shows we watch. Let's say I was watching a show and you were watching a show. It's a topic for us. So it's hey, did you see dating? So that's the thing is when you're on TV and then maybe on your bio, on your Facebook bio, Instagram bio, you're gonna write there, I'm Leo, I'm Sagittarius. You're gonna, so the speed of is quicker now.
Yeah.
It's way quicker to know someone.
Exactly.
Because even like sometimes you're just chilling and then you're using your phone and then it says you might know this person and you didn't even search. And
That's
like,
a good part of it.
you know.
But don't you guys think that technology has also kind of created like-minded people also? Because
Yeah. It is
because you're
created
exposed to
tribes.
mostly the same things.
Yes.
And so, from, like you were saying now, like whatever you watch, whatever you consume, like musically, or the things you actually consume on your social media pages, they normally tend to be alike. Because if you've noticed, maybe let's say you follow someone on Instagram, and then when you go to, I think it's the explore button, and then it starts showing you things not based off your interest, but because of whoever you followed and whatever they follow is now coming through to your feed. And so now it automatically makes you now join that same circle of
It's
like
creating these
information.
communities.
And
it's not just, sorry to cut you off, it's not just creating these communities or tribes, but it's also reshaping people's identities as well. For instance, just technology as a whole, not only social media. Like mind you, I want to see, there are people who are being judged because they drive a certain car. That's technology. That's the impact of technology
Whatever
in
gadget
our
you
society. Polo drivers, really. And that's the impact of technology. And then maybe back then, people were like, okay, umuntu or rider a certain type of horse. Maybe it's a king or it's a twin or whatever. And then they'd be like, I'm this type of person because I'm riding this type of horse. So you sort of like change how you behave based on that. Then there's also our polo drivers, man. So we are wondering what does that come from? It's like they've created a tribe around that just because of a car, technology. So just another thing I just wanted to add there.
I get you. You end up being identified by whatever you're associated with. Basically.
So I think it's the same thing as Instagram. Same as Instagram, because now it's more famous, especially when it comes to ladies. It's more famous you have to post pictures where you have bikini.
Instagram is for lifestyle.
Lifestyle actually. So that's what you know. So once you get in there, you have to adapt to that. Then you fall under that. So
that's why I was saying, like, it feels like it like creates like-minded people. And then you end up all like either sharing the same thoughts or views. And you're not as opinionated as you think you are, because the next person has the same like perception of whatever you're thinking about. So in that sense, it does it falls into maybe kind of the disadvantages of its influence. And so because an identity should be unique. You don't want to be, unless it's like tribal. Tribes are a collective of people. But to a certain extent, you also want to be like considered as your own person. So with social media now, everybody's a brand. Everybody. The minute you create that account, you're a brand. It depends on which way. Now, how do you then go forward and actually build that brand? But it's called brand identity, basically.
And then you just build on it. Even companies now are looking at your Facebook profile before they hire you, or they shortlist you. They look at your brand, what type of person you are, what you associate with. Will that
all of that align with what we
align with who we are as a company?
Our values as a company.
I think it has influenced. Its impact has. We side a better, and side a little right. I think we're moving faster now than the technology corner, and we get to like anything in Peggy. I'd have my own like perceptions or ideas, and then I go to social media to challenge those ideas, and then I find something that will be like, oh, this makes sense. And I find something else, I'll be like, that one is not okay. That idea I used to hold. This one looks like it. So it's like I'm changing my identity throughout because of this flood of information. And now that's where the crisis starts. That now I don't know what to identify as. because now I'm just confused. The information is just a lot.
It's
I'm
too
getting
much.
an information overload.
It's too much.
So it's important. There's something Jim Rohn always says, that you should always stand guard at the door of your mind. And he said that even before the internet. So the best thing now with the internet, when I started, a friend of mine told me that one skill everyone needs when they know that they're gonna dive deep into this internet thing, that skill is being able to filter.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
the
you
most
should know how to
important thing.
filter.
Yeah.
Being able to filter, to know like what type of information
Is for you.
will serve you good or is for you, and what type you just
not.
have to be like,
Disregard.
this one is not.
Yeah.
for me. So yeah, it's about that.
So now, when it comes to these young kids, right? So when you as a parent, if you buy maybe a phone or a device for these kids, and let's say it's the first time you buy that device for the kid, then on that box, there's never a manual that instructs you to how to use this phone and be able to have a skill of the skill that you're talking about, be able to filter some of the information that you get on this device, right? So now, what advice would you give to a parent in order for them to direct their kids in terms of after they bought that phone? Because now that becomes a problem. Today we have a young kid who's angry. If you can go to Twitter, you can find a very angry person who's angry out of nowhere.
True.
And if you can check, they adopted that through that social media.
Yeah, true.
So now, how do they filter? Because they never told when they bought that phone, they never told by their parents. Where will they get that?
To try and answer your question, like, it's like raising a child.
Sure.
They will raise you based on their values and beliefs and so on. But at the end of the day, there's gonna come a time where they have to let you go into the world, have your own experiences.
Sure.
You will obviously leave the house with whatever you've learned and so on. Mara, you still need to face the real world.
Sure.
And that's when you realize with Name, what I was equipped with is not enough to actually handle like society's pressures. And so Mara, you just still find your way around it. Okay, no, I can still take this and this with me and try and battle it out. And then it boils down to then you making those choices and filtering what you can and do based on your beliefs and values that you were taught at home.
Yeah.
If they didn't teach you with doing stove sashi most likely, then obviously when you go into the real world, you're not gonna know it's stove sashi, so you're not gonna filter that out. So you're just gonna put your hand on it.
And now, if we show kanjalo, nalento ukuthi impact yezinto esifundayo, they don't come as in the same way. They don't make the same impact.
True.
Right? So le abasifundisa nemakhaya bazoyifunda ingenza impact. Ungayithatha as part of your identity, part of your lesson, part of what you've been taught at home, right? But now, most of you are going forward, then check your social media. We once said on episode 4, social media struck on its own. And once you get into that track, sometimes you'll never come back. You'll never come back. Doesn't matter what they taught you or what they didn't. But then at the end of the day, some people then don't come back.
Yeah.
And that information that you've been taught, it can't help you once you're there. So now it becomes difficult for you to go back. To do introspection with, hey, this is having a huge impact in my life and I should try to leave this, take this. That's where filter comes in. Right?
Yeah.
So it becomes very difficult.
Main thing is just being able to filter. One way or another, just being able to filter what's given.
Also, can I just add? It's also because it's an escape, you see. Because we come from different backgrounds. Some people at their house, it's not a vibe or it's abusive. And like when you pick up your phone now, you get to talk to other people, share your feelings, and someone can say, hey, dog, I'm going through the same thing. Like with me, it's like this. And so if it's
trying to find a safe space now.
You understand? So there's a safe space. If it's an escape for you,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a different relationship with it.
Yeah.
Then for you, it's gonna be like it's a big deal. Like something happens, you post it, like on Twitter, like you say, guys, when someone does 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
How do you react?
and then there's comments. Then they say it happened to me as well. You know what I mean? So it's like an extended family for some people. You know what I mean? So I think that's why some people, for them, like you said, it's a high, or it's when it's a drunk. It's like a fix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like the constant seek for validation.
You know what I mean?
Feel me?
Yeah. Also, guys, answering your question, based on the paternal or maternal role regarding usage of phones, kubantwana or teenagers nowadays. I think some parents sometimes have to accept the fact that Spila is technology, man.
Yeah.
And it starts at school. Eskela manje, your teacher tells you go do research. You don't have a phone. Obviously, when I tell between your mother your father, time I don't have a phone, and at school, bafuna ngishaya research kanje nakanje.
Sure.
So I think it's also compulsive ukuthi umzali agcine athengela umntwana akhe gadget. Uthi akhona ukufeza that assessment, don't understand.
Yeah.
True.
So from lapho, i-technology for umzali izoba nama boundaries if uyazi ukuthi wena as umzali mawuphatha phone, as soon as you go to the internet like Chrome, obviously uzo pop up those ads, those porno sites and so as umzali uthola ufila ngathi awukho ready ukuthi umntwana akubone those type of content, you understand? So some things you have to accept as umzali ukuthi man technology kanje wonke umuntu ufuna ukupush izinto zakhe through technology. So when as umzali there will be a time whereby uzo give up, uzofila na ukuthi man I've been hard on my son or daughter ninaye gadget, and a gadget it's there, technology is there for ukuthi wena we surf it, use it, surf it young tall, so you can understand the external environment and what's happening within the circle, you understand?
So now would you say, if as a new parent, let's say we are a parent and living in this generation, you are aware about the internet, right, and how to use it, right? So now let's talk about our parents. They are not familiar with the internet and how to use it. So would you say now, if now they have a kid that is in the age of 10, they should start familiarize themselves with technology in order to make sure once they buy those devices, they are able to teach those kids how to use them and also the things they should utilize on those devices. So would you say that?
Yeah, I think for my side, I wouldn't mind my son or daughter using the technology to surf information, because we gadget like for a DSTV site, and my parental guidance and stuff. There's an app, if not an app,
settings.
My settings. Ukuthi umntwana khanga khona ukubona
anything.
So it will also take sacrifice and time for an umzali uku-investor what you know about technology, the disadvantages of technology. Wena, this is your department, this is a category of surfing information. Those other nasty sites were low key. So not every parent knows about that. So I think you have to be informed as a parent before uzonikeza your own daughter or son that authority to actually surf the technology, because you know the outcomes, the bad outcomes and good outcomes of using that gadget and surfing that internet. So for my side, I wouldn't mind as long as guide, show him the bad side of technology, whether you're looking for information and stuff, because some things are compulsive go my internet. You can't complain about who to advertiser those bad sides of information, because they actually pay for good advertising. So we can't stop that, because
that's their business.
It's like TV then. I don't want to tell them not to play like Emmanuel Mtwana If your child wakes up and goes to the TV and it's your child. They playing it at that time because they know kids are sleeping.
Exactly. So then as parents, we should leave that part to go ignorant. If you know what
like you said, invest your time into actually knowing about these things.
Because most abanye as badalwa esubana lento ukuthi I'm sure abazali bethu silabahlezi bayi. I mean, izinto ze technology angizazi. Ngithola whereas the information is there for you ukuthi ungakhona ukuthi uyazi if you want to. But then if unomntwana is the must for you to know.
It's especially our generation, because we know both sides of the fence before we were exposed and after we were exposed. So we actually have that capability, the capacity to actually influence our kids a bit better and put these like limits in place so that they don't reach. I mean, certain platforms you can't really filter.
Exactly.
They just gonna have access to them. You know, you can't do that, but you can do
you're not always with them.
So you can only do the most you can with what you know, and just put whatever I mean, Google accounts, you can literally set up a Google account for an age restriction with no, this person is not above 18. So based off that, I just haven't tested out Google App Store based using that kind of Google account with if you are under this age, what apps are available to you, you know. But if it could work hand in hand with that, then it would help. And so because now you know it's okay, IG would not be accessible to a kid that is under the age of 18 or whatever age it sets, you know, because these platforms also, like, kids get exposed to them way too early. And then it starts, like you were saying, with some kids just go onto Twitter angry. And so that person was exposed to Twitter at a young age. So figure out who express the way I try.
But as much as umzali ungaba present, but then at the end they are friends, and we have a huge impact in this. Even let's get most of the time on what you check. Sex bongayazi because ekhabe bangakhulumi ngayo, and bongaphona uphumela phana nikhulume sex, but during class time you will watch porn, talk about sex, crave sex.
Someone with a phone that has the internet has pictures.
So
that's why I'm saying you can only do as much as you can. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's loopholes.
Always.
Also, last thing on my side, guys. When it comes to that, I think our generation now, I don't know, our generation.
Millennials.
New age generation, technology age. I think it's never too late to fundisa the upcoming generation, the good side and bad side of technology, surfing, internet, or because we more advanced, more informed about the wrongs and the goods of using a gadget to surf or whatever you need. So it's never too late. In future, if you have a kid or expecting a kid, meluwazi when I self with okay. There will be a time whereby my son or daughter will own a certain gadget. And that gadget obviously may live in your Chrome site so you can surf the internet. Melumboni is okay. That you're not allowed to surf. So it's never too late to start changing the whole
narrative
perception or narrative of the technology. Because we're not saying it's a completely bad thing for exposed to technology and stuff.
I mean, sorry to cut you, I don't know if you were done or anything, but just I think maybe focusing a lot more on the good, as you were saying, that it's not all bad, and kids can also gain something from it. I mean, we're seeing now that kids at young ages, still in high school, they're already earning an income. Just off their phone.
13-year-olds who are making millions already.
Just from the internet. They haven't even left high school yet. So you haven't seen the real world and you're already making
just
that
off
kind
their
of
phone. And like I think now what we can gravitate towards is, as much as we inform them about the bad side, the dark side of the internet, of technology and all of that, what we must be doing is more teaching them or equipping them with the skills, like digital skills, that you can that can earn you an income at a very, very early age. Because every business now is just going online. Entrepreneurs are making things easier. Like you can run a business with your smartphone, only your smartphone. Just imagine that. And you haven't like incorporated your laptop or whatever. You can run a business just your phone. So there's other tools that can make life easier and making businesses as well, if ever you're gonna be teaching your because I think every kid should be taught the business side of things. So if you're gonna teach them about business, you also equip them with the skill, like the digital skills.
And another thing is the freedom, because at the end of the day when you buy a phone, first of all, you choose your phone. You say, I want a Galaxy or an iPhone. It's your taste, it's your style, even the internet. Like, so now, you get to say, let's say you want to learn online. You can say, I don't like that lecture. I want this one. This one can teach me things. You have options now. Unlike in the past, when you have to attend a class who Mr. Banbani.
You take what you're given.
Not your favorite.
Or you're not his favorite.
Exactly.
Which makes it worse, because he's gonna be on your case.
The whole lecture.
And everyone is loud, and now school is not fun anymore.
But it
reminds him of
something.
Some other kid who bullied him.
Back when he was a kid.
You see. So when you go to YouTube, you can say, okay, now you take the same topic that you were doing in class and you put it on the YouTube thing. Then you're gonna find like 1,000 people that have a different. Then you choose your favorite one. If you want like animated videos, you choose animated videos. If you want like freedom, there's like you can express yourself. Like that. You can even learn on social media. You can follow stuff on Facebook, like National Geographic, whatever. However you learn, your learning style, like and then you follow that thing. You know what I'm saying? So there's also that side to it, where people can escape. That's why you talk to some people. They didn't like coding, for example. You can learn it on YouTube. You can learn how to code on YouTube.
Baki was putting us through Java. Baki got us through Java.
Baki was like, is multi-talented.
Hey, multifaceted because he wasn't just skilled with just Java. He had a whole lot of other stuff.
He was also doing 3D.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. He's doing 3D.
This other
3D Max.
So you guys, you suggested Baki to each other.
No, it was, I think it was busy because it's like, I can't figure this shit out.
And
it's like, hey, have you checked out Baki?
And
then you go.
Maybe my problem is I check Upa goes explain
it. He can teach. He can teach.
Because even on Facebook, I heard that people say my IT job is not real because I get to work and I Google how to do my job. You know what I'm saying? So it shows you that imagine if there was no Google and YouTube and you had to go to work and like, do that code.
Hey, this is okay.
But wouldn't you then be more focused then? Because you're not so distracted. Think about the distractions technology has actually locked. You'd be more logged in. You'd be more logged in.
Because imagine if you're busy surfing your tutorials, based on the IT you're talking about. Then a serious text pops up.
Already.
And from your crush, for example.
Distracted.
Uqeda ukuthola ama number today from yena nhlane vele the sunny side
social dilemma and what they were talking about the social dilemma
yabo uzama ukufocus kuma tutorial wakho then i-text avela obviously uzofuna ukumgaya attention manje ikhashi yami awuthi ngime kancane ngalama tutorial
yabona already distracted
klar
already distracted.
So I want us to move on the like hustle culture, because I think I was moving to that when I was mentioning
I mean the whole like technology and bringing in money. I think that's where we were going.
I think the hustling part starts from learning. I think we've just covered that now. Like you start with learning a certain skill, you practice it, master it, and then you get to monetize it. And then should I say, how has technology or the internet has influenced the hustle culture, the way we are making money? Or it's just obvious?
You know.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So you can go.
I can't go. For me, on my side, let's just start with hip hop. Because you look at something like hip hop, it's like first line, yeah, that's my car, you see. And so this thing of flexing, it became a thing, even on Instagram, you know. So now, let's say you've got a S22. So I'm wondering now, I wonder what it can do. And then you hear, this one it shoots in 8K, you know. And so there's this thing to want to, like, you want to hustle as hard as you can so that you can get something you saw someone show off somewhere.
Yeah.
You understand? And I think most, not all, of the people, they're influenced by hustle culture like that. They're more focused on, like, I also want that iPhone, and they're not focused on how to make money online or how to make yourself a better performer at what you're doing, you know. So my point is, it starts with the people that show off, that have hustled more than you, and they're way more experienced.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it creates that thing in you that, and I'm a hustler. I also have to have a G-Wagon.
So do you think that, like, social media has, like, it gives people the drive to actually want to achieve more, in a way?
Definitely.
But because you see other people achieve success, however way they do, because you must remember, you don't see how they get there.
Nah.
They just show you what you want to see. And then how are you then going to measure your journey based off just that one picture of that person? I understand.
Yeah.
How then do you gauge?
How do you
gauge your success based off just that one picture?
And one thing, some results that came out, the #1 searched thing around here, South Africa, while we were still on lockdown, is searched by South Africans, is how to make money while you're at home.
That was probably during lockdown.
Yeah. So people were like understood that they have to make money now. It's no longer like stepping out of the house and making money. And a lot of people like have stable businesses today because they started then.
So when lockdown happened, it just blew up.
Yeah, it's like some people now focused and got to understand that a business just isn't like a physical entity there. You can run a business anyway, just as long as you focus on your marketing and people are here on the screen. So you target people with the screens that are already in front of them. You just have to find ways to capture their attention, fulfill their pain points, and then they're gonna buy.
Just to add on, I think another way like technology has influenced like the hustle culture is that like you get to close deals much quicker now.
Yeah.
Like,
it has closed the gap.
That gap because middleman.
Yeah.
You still need to call the secretary of such and such. Like you can
Gatekeepers,
easily get in contact with your clients or whoever you actually like gunning for your market, whoever your client. You can easily gain access to them because of the like things on like social media and all of that. You go to their IG handle, you already DM them, we met up whenever and this is what I'm offering, these are my services and whatever. You're already cutting out that middle person that you still need to go to an office, all of those extra costs that all of that, time and money. You saved time and money and you've done all of that from the comfort of your chair.
Exactly.
So I think those are the good kind of like traits technology has brought into the hustle culture as well.
What does the hustle culture mean to you?
To me,
just the concept
of just hustle culture. I would obviously mean culture, for instance. We'll start with culture. Culture is sort of like a tradition. Yeah, a tradition, like mine. So you would say it's a tradition of hustlers, of entrepreneurs, basically. So a hustler, what we know hustlers are people that go-getters. They're people that are driven. Most cases they're risk takers. Those are people that they're hungry. They're hungry for cash.
Enthusiasts.
Yeah, they're enthusiasts. Like So to break it down in simple terms, I would say it's a tradition of driven, hungry individuals that just want to strive and become better versions of themselves, bro. But doing it independently, not under a corporate or a label or whatever. It's just doing it independently on your own terms. That's what I would define like hustle culture as.
Yeah, and also for my side, I think hustle culture derives back from inspiration.
Yeah.
I think before you hustle, you have to be inspired by someone or something. Before you can initially take that action to hustle.
Yeah.
You understand? So yeah, you have to be inspired. Like Black said, your G-Wagons, guys flexing. You also believe that
like you get there.
In order for you to drive the G-Wagon, you have to be inspired by that guy. Just follow his or her steps so that they can guide you to hustle more, and so that you can also attain that goal. So the term I'll use for hustle culture is basically inspiration and determination, because you cannot be inspired then not put in the effort. True, understand? True. You have to, like DJ Spoo said, guys, sebenza.
Span.
You wanna be a millionaire, billionaire. Effort is important.
True.
And so mostly it's all about selling.
We're selling now.
Because you're selling everything.
Like you also said, like you also said, like people make money through their gadgets, like specifically phones.
Sure.
You can make millions by using your Samsung, like your Forex, your tradings and stuff. You just have to be informed, be inspired by your Jason Noahs, your DJ Coach. If DJ Coach can make like 8 million within 2 minutes, what's impossible for you to do the same? You just have to invest.
Put in the time.
Put in the time. Be informed. Span. You understand?
And it's also a tricky thing because sometimes there's like your talent and your passion, right? And then there's the finance, which is a different story. Which is why sometimes, let's say you do music, but you have to stop maybe and drive a truck and deliver stuff.
Sure.
So you can get capital.
So you can finance your hustle.
Exactly. So you can put money into your album and then put it online. Because you won't put it there for free. Even though you're a good singer or a good rapper or what. So part of it is to like going back to identity for a bit, is to remember that when you're hustling, trying to get your finances right and try to get this right, remember why you're doing it. You can't now forget what it's about. Because that's when it becomes about money only.
True.
Which is not a good place to be at. You know what I'm saying? So that's another important thing you have to look at.
True that,
You know, you should, because you're gonna have side hustles. That don't have anything to do with your passion. Maybe. Some people, they just strike same time. Their album blows up, and then they are still in line with that. You know what I'm saying? But others, you have to get a job first.
Finance your shit.
And then finance your
stuff.
The
best thing, jobs are not as a bad thing as the people who are successful say. Like people who have jobs are shame. Have a 9 to 5, all of that. Like the best thing is just to start somewhere, dog. Start somewhere, see how a business operates, see loopholes in that, and go start your own shit.
Your own thing.
And finance, you can still be in a job and have a business on the side. And if you love your job, you can just be there and have a business that's gonna run itself. And one thing that is mostly recommended from the book Myth, the entrepreneurial myth, is that you should build systems, not businesses. So you should have a business that will run without you. If you die, that's why the most successful businesses right now are successful as they are. It's because they are systems. Look at your McDonald's. Your McDonald's, those guys died long time ago, but the business is still running because it's a system. This is how you make your patty. This is how you put the chips. This is how you package this. So it's like they are just building the brand on top of that, but the system is just there.
It's intact.
Like it's a franchise prototype.
That's
what
everything
they call it.
documented.
It's a franchise prototype that you should have a system of how the business should run. So
also guys, sometimes when I hear or listen to the word system for me, most of the time it's like a bad thing for me.
Institution.
Something that
penitentiary.
If you take a look at apparently what people say, the government It could be factual information or non-factual information. Systems can brainwash us in a bad way. You understand? Because there was a comment last time on Facebook. I think it was Facebook. People saying, man, as the system has changed perspective. Yeah, perspective yokuthi how we view government iranwa kanjani. Like mangabheka manje, we probably, majority of us are graduates, ne? What we believe is we go to school, like varsity, attain your qualification, immediately workplace. And it's not happening now. Because we grew up knowing the primary, you go high school. After high school, varsity. After varsity, we go back to like the real corporate world, like Saspana manje, some adults. Marama listening to changing.
Yeah.
Things are not the way we were brainwashed to develop a code. You understand? And it's factual guti, your 9-to-5s, like solo income. You cannot make millions out of just probably after years, depending on how much you invest to whatever you're trying to achieve. Like I'm a system, they can be good, like you said, I'm a McDonald's, like there's consistency and stuff. And when I'm a system,
so when it comes to systems, they can like limit you in a way. Like the intended purpose of that system. For instance, the example in McDonald's. McDonald's was just dealing with ama beggars. That's it.
Yeah.
But now look, there's McCafe, there's McFlurry. That's like clothes. Adding on top of that system to make it work. So even with the system we have, say, South Africa, I feel like that can still be improved by seeing that. Like system should always be like, if you're running a system, you should always go back to say, is it working now? What are the new challenges? Just run the SWOT analysis.
Yeah, I think it's also how you absorb the term system. Because there's people who can use the term system in a positive manner.
Yeah.
We're not the same. System can be good or bad. So the system it has something promising, then use it to your own benefit. Make it you grow where you grow.
Be an opportunist.
Exactly.
Be an opportunist. Always have a plan. That's one thing I can say. And with our systems, there's one thing Simon Sinek always says is that I don't know if you know that guy, Simon Sinek. Yeah, he wrote the book. He wrote a lot of books, but one of his books, the top one is start with why you do something. Don't start with how you can do it or how you should do it. Start with why you're doing it. So one thing he always says is that there's two ways to make people do what you want them to do. It's either you want to inspire them, or you manipulate them. And great leaders inspire people so that they can get things done.
Yeah.
So true that. Same applies with systems.
To add on to both of your points, you said systems, you should be an opportunist, and then you said that it doesn't always work like that, like with graduations and jobs. It's one thing I learned when we were back in 2018 with Ground Up, and when I met Shavo always had this thing that you can't say I'm gonna graduate and then have that paper and say that's all you have. You need to build yourself outside of your paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you might be a graduate, if you're playing soccer, all your other facets, you must build them as well. Build your brand. You must have communication, network with people, even though you are working on this school thing. So like you're saying, when you're done graduating, and you were working, like in 2018, like I met Cortez, who was doing the whole events thing. He was there. We were all in school, but then it wasn't a thing that after we attend class, we're gents.
Sure.
Cool. We were working on other stuff. Sure. We were networking in different ways. I knew, okay, he paints clothes, and I didn't even know what course he was enrolled in, but I knew the other stuff, other side of him, so I can hit him up and say, I know this person, and I know Tom, for example. Like his jacket, he can do through his jacket, you know. So we know each other on a healthy level, in a way that we are hustling together.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing like that. But we're all in school, you see. So it's like, you see, my point is like what you're saying, we're being opportunists. Yes, we're in school, but we're keeping an open mind, like about how we should, you know, move around. Because we know that doesn't mean that if I graduate, shit is all gonna be cool.
Nah,
You
never.
understand?
I never promised.
I think one thing I want to
too.
mention here, open mind. Open-minded is everything.
Yeah.
I want as much as the system, yasibulala kakhulu, but then at the end of the day, the system the way you can use it at your advantage. There's always a way you same as education. Education is a system, it's business, they're making money. But then at the end of the day, how do you use it at your advantage? But at the end of the day, it's panel all of us is like. Because some people say scared, but now as night job is gonna shoot 7 qualification but then we have each other, right? Now we can help each other. It's going to share little business. Whereas something, have income. We're using that way, which is at least it's going something. Now in this especially in this community, we say yes, this system, then we depend on the system. That becomes a problem.
And become the victim of the system.
You become the victim of the system.
The system is flawed this way. Just look beyond. Now you have to look beyond that. It's fucking us up, or the system is fucked up. But it's benefiting other people. And if you're on the other side as well, you'll be like, yo, nice. But now just because we are on the other end, we just can't just sit down and be like, we're victims, the system is fucked up, complain about the government. Just find loopholes around the system, things that you can make work that can
do analysis,
benefit you.
Do analysis.
I know one even system, gents. System in a way creates pressure.
It does.
Creates pressure. Because when it comes to, let me relate back to my relationships that you have, whether a maid or a guy. For a maid example, says okay, man get dealing with scared. And like girls nowadays, if you don't have enough guap or guap that will be able to maintain you or her, if I equal, then the relationship doesn't work. So I want to guy any pressure and snacks with what should I do next?
Straight up.
Should I sell eggs? You understand? I-pressure guy on like my department of what I'm Irish and I was expecting this certain amount with time and I'm planning impilo yami ngiyazi ukuthi nayi ne-medium nayi la ngizomphatha fresh because ngiyazi there's a certain amount thing engitholayo and ngiyazi ukuthi ngeke ngibalekele yabo. So enye pressure ye-society ne-system e-creative. You understand? So leyo izinto engeke sizibalekele. We are brainwashed I don't know ukuthi yolunga nini. So we just have to accept some other things with the.
But now, besikhuluma nge filter, right? Would you say after we understand filter, would you say is a system that is putting you under pressure, or you putting yourself under pressure?
I think both ways. Because when I was under pressure, it's what you've seen of what you've observed through the system. Would you expand or expand? So if pressures was a when we bonega system, how did you take the whole scenario system with the expand? If I expand, then both ways, you part the whole funanga core. So I think both ways, but in a disadvantage or advantage as well. It doesn't have to be a solo thing with time. The system in negative mara, so that's in a positive way. I don't know if I make sense.
No, you make total sense.
Because as much as the system is corner, but especially when it comes to the system layer relationships, the pressure girls that are putting on us is crucial. It's what we mentioned on episode. Is it episode 6?
Yeah,
it's what we mentioned about the pressure machita anayo. especially when it comes to female. You must have these. Then from education, then you should move to each job where when there's But then as umchita, you must be willing to lose. So some of the things, if they are like they put pressure, let go of them. Because at the end of the day, the pressure to us is something the pressure is cool. And now more of as go in pressure just because we have to meet a standard whereas we now call to meet right now. That's not worth it. At the end of the day, you just have to let go of that person. Same as friends. It's not about girlfriends or same as friends, but it's friends like this. We can put pressure amongst each other. So if you are both a fit for when you just better alone. If ganja, so must forget.
In closing. Last thoughts.
Last words.
Okay. Can I just say this now? With the hustle culture now, I just want to cover in terms of relationship and everything we said now. Let's say you have a girl, let's say in chair now, and you're at stage 1 of hustling, and she saw someone who's at stage 8, who's already, the person who's on stage 8 was once on stage 1. Do you understand? That's another thing we forget, that you can't skip phases. Like when you're hustling, there's still the research that you gotta do, self-introspection, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now, if you allow the pressure to get to you, you're gonna end up skipping phases. And then you're gonna become an average at what you're hustling with. You're gonna be the average guy. You're not gonna be the best one because you are rushing. You don't have a car. But you don't have a car. But come on, like you're 21 or 23. Yes, you don't have a car.
So that's why Gary Vee always says that fuck all this bullshit of saying by 25 you should have things figured out.
Milestones.
Fuck that shit of saying by 30 you should have things figured out. And that from age 20 or from age 18 up until 35, those are the years that you should be figuring stuff out.
You know what I'm saying?
Getting your hands dirty, doing this and that and that and that, meeting people, building your networks and all of that. And then after 30, that's when you're like, okay, this is something I'm confident in. I can work in it. You're not supposed to have a car by 30. Then you can't put that
it's
not on paper.
It's just exactly. You can see it on Instagram. You can see someone saying, "Bara, this one sells NFTs and he made 30 million at 90."
One purchase.
But then that's their hustle.
Yeah.
What if
Focus
your
on
hustle
yours,
is like a 25-year plan?
True.
You're gonna have to move like that.
Exactly.
You can't move like it's a 15-month plan. You know what I'm saying? So. You see this topic, the way we're closing it, it shows that with the identity, that's why you should have it like all locked. Because if you know who you are, you won't be moved by someone saying, okay, he's got it around. You know what I'm saying? It's like, word, congratulations to them, but I'm doing this.
Sticking to your identity.
Jensai. Don't closing.
I think we close it well.
Close it as usual. And as you always say,
take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and take care of your pockets.
This is the Empty Street Podcast, and we're signing out.
Toast.
And also take care of your mental health.
That's yourself.
Yeah, my jazz.